Barrows created this carapace of an image of a public persona, the ugly American. The fedora, the suit, the dry humor, the unsmiling figure. And yet, in Queer, you have all the shades of a tender heart and of someone who is immersed in the anguish of love, of wanting to be seen by the other.
William Lee was a presence, and I wanted him to come across as that in this movie. Really what he is, he's trying to make human connections and fall in love, be in love. And that, to me, was my key into the character.
This is about loneliness and the crushing and yet eternal moment in which you are recognized in the gaze of another person and you finally are not alone anymore. But the asynchronicity of their capacity of loving one another is what makes the desperation of Lee so intense. I would say that the way in which Daniel consistently hit with his hammer the metal of the tenderness and the affection and the love and the fragility of this character was amazing. I only had to be there to record it. He was so beautifully carved, this idea of the tenderness of Lee from Daniel. In this moment, we are almost at the beginning of the movie with Matt Lee. He's a solitary man who occasionally have meetings or dates that goes fruitlessly for him. And here he is quite alone. First of all, we play seemingly from the score of Trent and Atticus to Come As You Are, almost like as an invitation. The music evokes what's going to happen next.
In our first version, there wasn't a Nirvana song in there.
And it was jarring to us that suddenly I'm taken out of the movie and I'm hearing a pop song. There was a desire to have that in there because he wants that effect that we were feeling. It's serving a purpose.
Focusing on the cockfight, he sees a group of American expatriates. Among them, one person in particular. This is a very crucial moment and a crucial scene because we see the first look at Allerton. And this moment is when Lee understands that this is not a neutral glancing with a young, beautiful man. I'm a lucky director when you can just avoid dialogue and make everything completely clear by silent performance. What do you want? You have everything. It's like a mythological setting up of their relationship.
It's this moment where you get the contrast of the two. It's the first moment you see the difference between each character.
In preparation for Allerton, he doesn't have a lot of words. You want these kind of tactile things to latch onto his clothes and his body and his voice.
You can see how precise Allerton is. There's a sort of like, is he real, is he not? Whereas when you look at Lee, there's something more broken, unwashed, undone. When you look at Lee, there is nearly kind of an arrogance in the undone. It fits the character.
That's an original Brooks Brothers suit, and we had one of them. It had to do the whole movie, which it did, but you can't really create that look. You can make a new suit, but unless it's lived in, I suppose sleeping in it might be the way to do it, but that suit's been slept in and all sorts of other things. Who knows? The history of that suit is long and varied.
We built this neighborhood in front of the main offices of Cinecittà because we took over Cinecittà, we shot everywhere, and we created this neighborhood.
We mixed beautiful image of Mexico City in the night. We avoid the use of the brown, of the black, of the gray. We wanted to use more bright colors to give to the story more the sense of the longing, of the desire of the two characters.
I love this scene because Lee has been spending time with Allerton for a long while now.
Excuse me.
This scene, he's wondering what the story is with this kid.
You think he's queer?
This dialogue is in the book. It's stuff that's going on in Lee's head. He's kind of going through this internal monologue about whether Allerton is queer and how he would ask him. I thought it would be a good idea to externalize that into a conversation between him and Joe, who's kind of his most trusted confidant and his, like, best buddy.
I can't tell.
We could always just ask.
No.
Well, he must be queer if he's talking to him. Dumay's part of that little clique of queers. Go to that beer joint on Campeche, Green Lantern.
I know who he is.
He's the only one of those Green Lantern boys who'd be welcome to a place like this. The rest of them are just a bunch of screaming fags.
Would you excuse me?
Jason had this idea. He said, I think I should touch the warmth of Lee on the chair when he goes. It's an act of affection, maybe. Jason has all this incredible wittiness to himself, and he has these impromptu ideas. That was so much fun when we did it. He's one of these incredible actors that has this range, wittiness, sense of humor, and beauty, physical beauty, mixed together that makes him one of a kind.
Joe, for me, was like the great one to do. These were like pink plaid shirts. It actually had a silver line going through it randomly. Like when you see the total look, the belt is wrong, the shoe is wrong. And there's something where we all know that person, you know, the person who likes a good time.
From day one, as soon as he walked on the set, the two of us started sort of firing off each other and just wanted to make the relationship as close and as personal as possible.
I found myself really drawn to these moments when Lee would forget to put on the armor. A tough guy who can't help but get stuck in the middle of the room because he walks over to go say hi to the kid at the bar, and then the kid goes to another table, and now he's stuck and doesn't know where to move. Dealing with this guy, Dumais, who he genuinely doesn't like, now all of a sudden maybe knows something about this kid he's been trying to know that Lee doesn't know.
How do you like this character? Comes over and asks, I thought you were one of the Green Lantern boys. I said, well, yes, I am. Wants me to take him around to some of the gay places here.
This turns out to be almost like an inquisitive conversation between Dumais and Lee, where Dumais wants to know more himself about Allerton. So it's a lot of layers and degrees of the mystery of desire. The scene is fantastic, I must say, because the set is fantastic. This is the ship Ahoy. You see how this bar is built as a sort of like bowel of a big ship. And you see this architectural structure that Stefano created, vertebrae of a boat, and the colors of flashed colors, this acrid color that reflect this kind of drug addict experience of life.
The furniture in the ship Ahoy are built from scratch. We designed everything, took inspiration from the ocean liner furniture, creating these tubes that are strictly connected to the architecture of the space.
I'm very lucky because I've been spoiled all my life, and in this movie in particular, by working with towering artists and people who gives everything to the process, whether it's in front or behind the camera. There will always be a centipede crawling in between these two guys, reaffirming the power of repression. I hope that who sees the movie can think about themselves and find a way through the movie that speaks for their way, through their experience of love. Even if just a moment before you die, you will reconcile with the loved one and you will defeat the repression of the centipede.